we can't get fooled again.
Arf. Hounds of heaven. Jesus loves you and is there for you. Welcome in to the David O'Gray Show. Off code and unscripted. Got a mass nightmare for you this afternoon. I didn't have a chance to do a show this morning, but I was just really, I don't know what happened to me, man. I was like really tired this morning. I think I know what happened last night. So after I got off work yesterday, I'm out cutting the grass. It had to be about I don't know, 6:30 by the time I get going out there. And next thing I know, it's 8:30. It usually doesn't take that long to cut the grass into wheat. But my daughter comes out about 8:30, like, "Hey, Dad, you're still out here. It's dark. What's going on?" And so yeah, I had completely lost track of time. She does. She say, "Hey, Dad, what you doing out here? Mom made the dinner. Your plate is on the table. You just got to warm it up. Warm it up." I had no idea I was out there that late. I think I know I did because I was cutting the grass in the backyard. I got a fairly big yard, but this still 2 hours, and I'm just now weeding. I was going in a different direction. To keep. I'm very proud of my lawn. So it's very green and very thick. So yeah. So I get in, take a shower, and eat dinner, sit down for a moment, watch this dumb show I watched called Upload. It's just a way to pass the time. And then I just fall asleep. And I hear my alarm clock this morning. But no, I was done. So I didn't do a morning show. It was fine because I didn't have a guest on. But here I am. And I got a mass nightmare for you. Not a full mass nightmare. It's like a mini mass nightmare. It's just one part of the mass, which was ridiculous. So thanks everyone for coming in. I see all the usual suspects here. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, you have to go in the opposite direction for it to grow right. Yeah, exactly. And I have no problem with growth in my lawn, Brianna. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna be worse off. But yeah, so here we go. Let's get into this mass nightmare. Oh, but first, let's do this real quick. I'm sure you've heard about this by now, and it's something that I don't think Brianna and I have to worry about since we go to mass primarily on a military base. And I was actually going to go to mass in town this week. I was going to go to St. Louis because it's Mother's Day, and where I want to take the wife is actually right around the block. But I don't know. She saw this and she wants to go on base. So apparently, this is what's going on. So there's this organization that started in the spirit of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, so to speak. So Ruth sent us. So they're going to use Mother's Day and beyond to so-called rise up, right? The Ruth Bader Ginsburg, they say, spent her entire life moving the needle towards justice for all. She believed in women deserve trust, Black Lives Matter, love is love, no human is illegal. And they say on our 6-3 extremist Supreme Court routinely issues rulings that hurt women, racial minorities, the alphabet people, and immigrant rights. We must rise up to force accountability using a diversity of tactics. So what they're doing, they're planning to go into a bunch of Catholic churches and be very disruptive this Saturday and Sunday. Be very disruptive in a liturgy. So that's what's going on. And it's going to happen. The more liberal your town is, the more often it's going to happen. The more, probably more often that you see them disrupting the liturgy. So it's going to happen in all the usual places. And I've always wanted to be at a mass where this happens, right? Because I've always wanted just to run up the aisle and just drop one of these people in the chest like a WWF wrestler, right? And just send him spinning back, and then I hop on top of the one of the pews, and I just come down like this, like I'm a wrestler, like that forearm, right? And then like I hit him with a suplex and put him down for the count. I've quietly always wanted to do that, right? Because these people, no one should be coming into the mass and being disruptive, disrespectful, and doing all types of blasphemy and sacrilegious activity in the mass. They have no right to do that to sacred space, and they need to be dealt with. And hopefully they are. Um, so I encourage everyone who especially has like if your parish has a militia, activate your militia, guard your doors, and don't let these devils enter. But they're coming. And over on the Twitter, um, they got this going. Yeah, so they're coming. They're coming in their handmaid's tale outfits. They're coming to a mass near you. They're going to be disruptive. So and they need to be stopped. I don't care what their issue is. I don't care if they're upset that turtles are dying, that we don't have enough bees. I don't care what they're upset about. No one has the mass is not their space to come in and be disruptive while we're worshiping. It's not. And especially in this regard, this is demonic activity. They want to come into the Catholic Mass. They want to protest because some of the justices are Catholic, and some of them act Catholic. But people like Neil Gorsuch, I mean, he's raised Catholic, but I think he's an Episcopalian now. So Sonia Sotomayor, she's a Catholic, doesn't act like it. So the Catholics, the why are they upset with Catholics, right? I don't understand. So, but they want to take it out on us. They want to come into our masses. They want to be disruptive, and so get your militia ready, guard your doors, and if anyone tries to come into the liturgy and be disruptive, somebody just needs to get up and drop kick them. That's what I would do. Don't disrespect Jesus. I'm like Peter, right? Sure, sure. Jesus told Peter, put a sword back up. But before he did, Peter took an ear off. I'm Peter. I'm going to drop kick you. So, yeah, I'm like, oh, not in my home. Yeah, better think twice. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Um, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But so, yeah, that's what's going on. But let's get into this mass nightmare. So, this mini mass nightmare, because I'm only going to show you one part of the liturgy, and we're not going to be here all day. This is relatively fast. So it's a Easter Sunday mass. People are getting baptized. This is in Saginaw, Michigan. This mass nightmare has nothing to do with the series that we're doing of mass nightmares in the Diocese of Oakland, California. We saw one of those a couple weeks ago, and then I'll have another one, not this week, next week. Because I have two actually that I was going to show you, but actually I'm putting together a video to run them both together. And so what we're going to do with the two other masses in Oakland, we're going to have what's called the Battle of the Woke Masses, the Battle of the Woke Catholic Mass Nightmares, right? This is going to be the Battle of the Woke Masses. Yeah, that's what we're called, the Battle of the Woke Masses. So we're gonna put them side by side, play them right next to each other, and see who has the wokest liturgy. So that's what we're gonna do with that. So this one is Saginaw, Michigan. It's not part of that collection. My friend Bill Schrader, he sent me this, and I just had to show it to you guys. It's ridiculous. But I've looked at other masses at this parish, at St. Dominic's Parish in Saginaw, Michigan. Really, not much there. They tend to read the black and do the red. Even in this mass, he tends to read the black and do the red. But this point in time, for his homily, he completely lost his mind. Completely lost his mind by doing this. Let's play it.
The Gospel of the Lord.
All right, so we're just going to jump right in because, like I said, most of the mass was fine. All right, we're not gonna beat the whole thing up. So after he reads the gospel reading, this is where we're picking up at. So now he's about to get into this phenomenal this word. I don't even have a word to describe it. Maybe you do. Let's see.
Okay.
All right, so that should be like a dead giveaway right there. Like, what is that bag he's picking up? All right, so that's your first clue that this homily is about to go off the rails. The man had a grade 5 duffel bag, red, ready to go, hidden behind the flowers. That just lets you know this is about to get live.
Kids want to get a front row seat, come on up here right now. Just grab a seat on the steps. Come on, get to help me out. Yep, just grab a seat there, guys. Just
So here we
right
go
on the
again
steps.
with some sort of children's liturgy. Yeah, some sort of children's liturgy. Here we
got
go.
a few steps there. You get the front row, the back row. Okay, cool.
At least these kids are not wearing masks. I don't see anyone who's wearing a mask. So they don't look like hostages, but what's going on?
Okay, God is good? And all the time? All right, let's see what we got here. We'll get right into it, because I always have just a simple message that I want to get across at Easter. Okay. Okay, we got this. All right. All right. Let's see. We're going to put one here. How about right there? Okay. And one right there. Yeah. All right. How about like that? Does that look good? Okay. All right. Okay. Have you guys been pumping your iron? We're going to have a little contest, okay? Because I want to demonstrate something to you, okay? Me against all of you, okay? Is that a fair fight?
All right, I just want to come in just for a second, just to remind everyone about what's supposed to be happening here. So, according to the order of the Mass and the general instruction of the Roman Missal, after the priest reads the gospel, he kisses the book. And then the church instructs him that he or a deacon or another priest is supposed to give a homily that instructs us upon the faith and prepares us for the Holy Eucharist. And the general instruction of the Roman Missal says that the ambo or another place is suitable place is the place to give the homily. All right. Now, what's going on? I think what we noticed in all these mass nightmares is that there's a certain type of Catholic priest that treats the general instruction of the Roman Missal in the order of the Mass, sort of like hmm, some people treat the Constitution of the United States. Right? They say, well, if it's not in the Constitution, then then it belongs to the state to make the determination. It's something that a lot of people, it's a perspective that I agree with when it comes to the Constitution. That if it's not in the Constitution, it belongs to this to the state, right? It's not the federal government's place to interfere with states' rights. States they can determine what's good for their state. So if it's not in the Constitution, the state can determine it, right? And that's the whole thing that's going on with the Doe versus Bolton, Roe versus Wade, Casey versus Planned Parenthood. That whole thing, right? Like Alito's draft said, abortion is not in the Constitution, so it should go back to the state. So these priests, they have that same perspective, right? If it's not in the order of the Mass, if it's not in the general structure of the Roman Missal, I can just kind of do what I want to do. I can just fill in the blank spaces. I can read in between the lines. I can do whatever I want to do. But I think that's I think that's a weird perspective. I don't think the order of the Mass or the general instruction missal is like a constitution, right? It's not that type of a document. I think what the order of the Mass is saying that you say the black and you do the red and you do nothing else other than that. Now you just don't make up your own crap just to fill in the blanks, right? But I think that's what these priests believe. That if it's not there, then I can just kind of do whatever I want to do. I can just make it up and go along. Uh, and that's what he's doing here. So just a refresher, it's supposed to be just a basic homily from an ambo here. It's not supposed to be bringing out cones and bags. All right, so here we go.
Fair contest? Okay. You think so?
Look at this little kid. He's not having anything to do with it at first. Look, he's getting away from this guy. He's like, hey, father, I just came here for a baptism. I didn't come here for all this, father. What are you doing? Look, he's just walking away from the scene. Like he's not having anything to do with this at first. Like, father, what's in the bag? What's in the bag? I didn't come here for all that, father. What are you reaching for? He looks like a little cop. Hey, 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 what are you reaching for? What are you reaching for? Get your hand out the bag. Get your hand out the bag, sir. Look at him. He's going to be a police officer one day, little fella. Look.
Okay. You have no idea what we're going to do you? Okay. All right. Here we go.
Oh, no, he's back. Okay.
Okay. All right. Before we start, everybody raise your right hand. Put your left hand on the imaginary Bible. Repeat after me. I. Insert your name. Do promise that I will not get hurt. And if I do, I will not sue Father Steve. So help you God. Okay, all right. All right. Yeah, we're going to play a little tug of war. I don't know if we can get you all on one side, but we're going to try. If not, the rest can watch. Okay. How that looks like in the middle, okay. Okay, well, let's see. How about you guys try and get over here? See if you can grab the rope there. And go ahead, come on, grab the rope. We're going to play this tug of war. Okay, get up there, grab the rope, come on. Okay. If you want to sit and watch, you can. So we need somebody. Okay. Okay, come on. Come on, guys, right over here. Because I'll take this side. Oh, don't pull it too far to your side. I want it. Okay. No, I don't need any help. You got to go over that side there. Okay. Okay. If not, they're going to have to watch. Okay, why don't you guys just watch? Okay. Grab a seat there and just watch. Okay. All right. Okay, hold on. Ugh! Okay, you ready? On the count of 3. Okay,
So you see now the theatrics of the whole thing, right? Right. And everyone out there in what we can legitimately call at this point an audience, right? It's not people gathered for worship. No, it's transition now to an audience. And Father here, he's the performer, and he brought up some props, right? So so we have the props, we have the performer, and we have some participants from the audience, which are children, right? And everyone's just watching the children go up, acting like they like it. I mean, who doesn't like watching kids play? Right? I even like watching kids play for a little while. Um, but that's what's going on here. So these priests who feel as though to give a good homily, they have to bring props and have people participate and put on these theatrics and plays. I think it really it takes away from the mass, don't you think? But let's see.
The object is to get that green, and you got to pull it across the red cone, okay? On the count of 3. 1. Oh, hold on a second. Don't go too far. You didn't bring your gloves? Yeah, I got a better grip now. I might need it. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 3. Okay. All right. Whew. Okay, grab a seat. Nice job, guys. Okay. All right. Okay. Nobody got hurt. I'm happy. Okay.
Look, I'm just going to throw this out there. All right. I'm sure that the homily is going to come, right? And he's going to have this wonderful homily. He's somehow going to talk about how our relationship with God is a tug of war. I don't know. Um, he might talk about how Jacob wrestled with God all night. I don't know. Right? I don't know where he's going with the whole tug of war thing. But here's the thing. Everyone knows what tug of war is. Everyone, everyone knows what tug of war is. Even the kids who got up knows what tug of war is. I don't know if it's a universal thing. I don't know if kids throughout the world play tug of war like we played King of the Hill when I was a kid. I don't know if it's universal, but I'm pretty sure it is. At least in our country, everyone knows what tug of war is. Therefore, why was it necessary to waste everyone's time to make a mockery of the mass by being completely disruptive with these children, taking away people's focus from the most important thing that's about to happen in the entire universe? That is, Christ Jesus coming in the flesh and blood for us to eat him so that we might be like him. Why couldn't he have just instead got up, stayed at the ambo after reading a homily, and talked about tug of war? He has a freaking projector screen over there. Look, over in this church is another church with these projector screens. You can see them. Why can't he just have maybe showed an image of a tug of war? That was an option, right? But he didn't. But rather than doing what's simple, he wanted to turn this into a play. He wanted to get into the theater of the whole thing, right? He wanted to make it all about him for this moment, right? Look how clever I am. Look at what I can do. Look how creative Father is. It's it's just ridiculous. It's not as bad as the children's liturgy. At least they didn't go away somewhere, but it's still harmful and detrimental. It's because it's not teaching these children to reverence the mass. Now, the greatest memory little Joey has now, I was when he played tug of war with Father during the liturgy. Like, what type of memory is that? How does that make you holy? Yeah, I played tug of war with Father during the mass. And like, how is that helpful? How does that make a saint out of anyone? I don't get it.
Okay. Okay. Why did we do that? It's like life, there's a constant tug of war going on between good and evil. And sometimes it seems like evil wins out, doesn't it? Because we look at the news and, there's war.
That's a funny point. Epiros. Look at the old man over here, the old fella. Old fella. And God bless me. I hope I'm old this old one day. All right. He doesn't know what's going on. Look at the fella. Look at him. He's reading something. he doesn't know what's going on. He looks a little bit confused, maybe a little bit annoyed. Back in my day, back when we had the traditional Latin Mass, we didn't have any of this going on back then. What is this? Where's the kneeler at? Where's the incense and the smoke? These children are playing tug of war? This is why I left the church back in 1968 after they changed everything. The poor guy, this is his first Mass since 1968. He hasn't been back since Vatican II. And he had to see this whole thing. Poor fella. Just trying to get his life right before he goes and meet his maker. He's already in the hard seats, right? He's already up there. The seats are rough. And I know he's here for baptism because it's probably his daughter on the other side, right? But they've been estranged, right? They haven't had a good relationship. But he's here for the baptism because this is his grandson. I guess I go back to Mass. I haven't been back. All right. Me and my daughter not in a good place, but I go back to Mass. And he has to see this tug of war take place. He's never coming back. This is his last shot. You guys like how I made up a whole story there, don't you? I don't know if you do that, but I do that all the time. I'll see people at the grocery store or somewhere, and I do this with my daughter Olivia. We'll tell their whole life story. We do fiction for everyone, so yeah, I do that all the time. I gave him a whole life story. But yeah, let's get back to Father here.
Going overseas, going on over there, we hear all of the bad stuff that is in the news that people do to one another, and it always seems sometimes that the darkness wins out over the light. But I will tell you this, that goodness always overcomes evil, okay? The goodness that is in the world will always conquer the darkness and the evil that is in the world. All right? This is more for the big kids out in the crowd. This year I celebrate my 25th anniversary, so I have been reflecting on the 25 years and the stories that I've encountered, the people that I've encountered, and the lives that have intersected with mine. And the one story that I want to share with you to show that goodness overcomes darkness, June 5th, 2007.
Oh, that's where he's going with the tug of war. Goodness overcomes darkness. Dude, we did not need tug of war for that one. we didn't need tug of war for that one, bruh. Oh my goodness, we didn't need tug of war for that. bruh, come on, man. Wow, really? Goodness overcomes darkness? That's why you spent 10 minutes bringing up the children for goodness overcomes darkness, bruh? Oh, wow. Man, that's crazy. That's wild. I mean, you could turn the lights on and off to do that one. That would have took 5 minutes. Hey, Jim, in maintenance, turn off the lights. All right, Jim, turn them back on. Goodness overcomes darkness. Right there. And everyone's life would have been better off. People could have got out earlier, go get some donuts, Come on, man. Goodness overcomes darkness with tug of war? Oh, wow. You could put on a black coat, took it off, and just said, goodness overcomes darkness. You had so many options, Father. So many options. You went with tug of war for that one? For that that that's the analogy you had to use? Oh wow. Oh wow.
7, I got a call. It was about 4:45 in the morning, and it wakes me up. 9 times out of 10, a call like that is, I need to go to the hospital. So as I'm reaching for the phone, I'm calculating in my head, because I've got 8 o'clock church, and I'm like, can I get to the hospital and get back in time for 8 o'clock church? So that's what I'm trying to calculate. Well, I answer the phone. It was at 1 time out of 10. It was not a hospital call. It was a family member that said, Father, I got some terrible news. My mother is dead. 2 people broke into her home, and they stabbed her in the face 40-some times. I'm like, oh my God. Well, the funeral that happened, there were more people at that funeral than I've ever experienced. There was 800 to about 1,000. It was probably about the size of Bishop Ken's funeral, which took place.
Okay, who's the grown man over there on the left with his child? And they're just sitting there talking. Look at him.
In this space. And there were just so many people there, and there was so much love there. I remember somebody coming, tapping me on the shoulder and said, Father, there's flowers here. The governor sent flowers. Where do I put them? I said, see all those 80 arrangements over there? Just put them in the middle so people can see it first and foremost.
Yeah, that
like,
was,
oh my God.
That was pretty dark, Upper Rose one. Yeah, the children, listen, I don't agree with children's liturgy, but yeah, if you're gonna sit up here and tell a story about grandma getting stabbed 80 times in the face and stuff like that, I don't know if I want my 3-year-old hearing that. I don't even know where that's going. I have to explain that after we leave. That sounds like a nightmare scenario. Little Joey, hey dad, what's father talking about? Grandma got stabbed 80 times in the face. He's having all types of nightmares now, worried about people breaking in the house. Yeah, I don't know if that's I don't listen. If you're gonna tell like murder mysteries, Father, then yeah, just send the kids off to children's liturgy. This is a little bit dark. Yeah, I agree with you. That's pretty rough.
And I remember Rita was one of these people that dressed impeccably. She was a pillar of the community. Everybody knew her, and so they just knew that she was a woman of faith, and it was like, why and how could this happen? You take someone who is filled with such faith and love of Christ, and you take her away from all of us. And it seemed like the darkness won that day. I loved Rita, and the one thing about Rita, she did not like my red backpack. So I didn't use my red backpack that day, but I remember talking about the pull between good and evil. And I said, it might feel like the pull toward the darkness won today, but I guarantee you it did not. Because Rita had this pull toward goodness. And if you want to affirm the goodness that is in this church through the resurrection, that is in Rita, I want to hear it from you here and now. And everybody stood and they clapped for a good long time to affirm that goodness always overcomes evil. And so it was one of those moments that always reminded me, I think that's what we celebrate this Easter, the triumph of the cross and the triumph of the light over darkness. Okay? So I want you to remember is that you beat Father Steve in tug of war, and that good always overcomes evil. God is good, and all the time. Okay, you guys can head back to your seats.
Guess that's it, folks. I guess I guess that's it. Goodness overcomes darkness. I still don't get the whole point of the tug of war to have to tell that story. Right? I mean, the kids, the kids are gonna remember. They aren't gonna remember the tug of war. They aren't. They remember that murder mystery Father talked about, and Rita in the red bag. That's my takeaway. I'm gonna remember that for a long time. I never heard a story in mass about someone getting stabbed so many times and in the face by a B&E, by breaking and entering. I never. I've heard a lot of stories during the mass. I mean, what happened? I'm curious. I mean, did they catch him? Did he go to prison? What was his excuse? Why did he do it? I'm leaving with more questions than answers, right? I don't Goodness overcomes darkness. I don't even remember the moral of the story. I remember hearing something about a red bag. He didn't bring it that day. And I guess it's that same red duffel bag. But honestly, I don't remember anything he said. And I sat here and watched the whole thing with you. I don't know. Do any of you guys remember the moral of the story? I don't. All I remember is someone got stabbed a lot of times and in the face. Something about Rita in a red duffel bag. I guess I was always really bad with that game Clue. Do you guys remember Clue? That game? I was always horrible at it. I guess I'm not just that good with details. I don't know. But I don't know what just happened. And I don't know why kids had to be exposed to that murder mystery and have it reinforced with a tug of war game. I don't know. It's just a nightmare. This really was. I didn't think it was gonna be like a big mass nightmare because he did the rest of the mass pretty well. But literally, this was a mass nightmare. It really was. Someone died and we had to hear about it. Got stabbed multiple times. Was it on Halloween? I mean, I have so many questions. I'm gonna have to email Father, find out more about this story. I need more details. But this really was a mass nightmare. Wow. Officially. So what was the moral of the story? Brianna says, "Don't get stabbed." Rita doesn't like bags. Yeah, I, I miss him telling his story. I just heard him say something about Rita. Nobody knows. Lucy doesn't know. She just came in late, right? Let me see. Point is, Father Stephen. Yeah, which one was he? Right? He was. Children were good. He was evil. He told us who he was. Tug of war story time about murder. What channel was that on? Not Disney. If it was Disney, one of the characters would be gay at least, right? We don't know anything. Oh my goodness. All right. So that's all I have for you boys and girls today. I'll be back. I'm pretty sure I'll be back on Monday. I don't think I have anything else to say for the rest of the week because I really have to think about what just happened. All right, but on Monday, I have a response for this lady. We're going to react to this video. This lady from Catholics for Choice made this video with some just weird theology, and she has like a degree in divinity from Yale or something like that. So we're gonna react to that Monday, probably in the afternoon if I have time on Monday or in the morning. So we'll see. But that's all I know about that. for now. I'm gonna get you guys out here. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next time. Hey there. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And visit me at davidlgray.info to check out the Catholic theology courses I'm teaching there to adults and to homeschool students. But most of all, remember to get to confession and get to Mass as often as possible and to make your life a type of liturgy at a Mass. But until then, and until next time, blessings and shalom to you and to yours.